Hello. Oh, it's 35. That makes you still young.
Make sure you all get that survey. Chronologically. But I pray that there is some information that I have here to share. And I do have some from our oldest sisters. Young sisters, did you all do the survey? All right. I want you all to kind of, you all for real, y'all can start while I'm talking, but you might want to just call out here. So, when Sister Faye asked me to do this title, I was like, Lord, you are truly drumming home in my head this particular piece of knowledge that I'm going to share with you, my mature sisters. And that is young adults and young ladies of this generation are living in a very different world than we grew up in. And we need to just get our head around it.
Amen.
We have criticized some of their choices and their behaviors out of a lens that is archaic. That means it's old. One of the things that I discovered this year as I was preparing, God has a way, man, of doing stuff, because I'm teaching a lot of young professionals now, and I found new struggles in teaching them. And I'm thinking, Lord, what is it? So I'm praying, God, deliver us, right? And God said, no, I'm going to deliver you. And someone asked me to do a training on generational diversity. So like any other professional, I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to prepare. And just like studying the Word of God, that thing started beating me up. And I start seeing my own bias,
That's right.
my own prejudice regarding the generation that's younger than myself. And what I learned truly has changed how I look at young people,
All right.
my respect and my regard for young professionals, and the resiliency that God has dropped in our young people to be able to grow and have hope in a day like this. So, mature sisters, we got to get on board. We really have to get on board and get off their case.
All right.
And get on their bandwagon. Let me say that again, get off their case and get on their bandwagon. I'm going to share some information that might be a little eye-opening for you. Sisters, are you all working on the survey? Good. Okay, all right. You kind of liking it, aren't you? Okay, I'm going to get there. Here's what I found out. Young adults and teens live in a very, very different world. And the way time is changing has sped up based on technology. How many of you all in here, by raise of hands, remember when you had to put your finger and roll it around and dial the telephone? How many of you remember that?
Amen.
How many remember you had to call somebody to do long distance and they would make the connection? How many of y'all remember that? How many remember that? Okay. How many remember life meters? I was in school. When they connected the cable, right? Telephone cable that connected Europe and the United States. How many of y'all remember that? Prior to that, they did it by what? Telegraph. Now, if that was in our lifetime, and I don't look that old, how many of you understand now, my baby can go in my purse, pull out her cell phone, and call West Africa. Just like that. I mean, time, because of technology and innovation, has changed a lot. Many years ago, families grew up in smaller, much smaller communities that were sometimes segregated, and sometimes isolated. And all family knew But he knows how to keep up with technology.
Right.
Church, we got to learn how to keep up with technology so that our ministry start being a reflection of the media that young people are listening to today. Did you know there's some research that says young people are already lost in our congregation by the time they reach 7th grade? Y'all dragging them to church. But by the time they reach maturity, they decided at 7th grade, they done. They're not coming. They're already gone. We already lost them. Because the way we minister to them, the way we introduce Jesus to them, is in a way that they don't even read, they don't look at, they're not exposed to, they don't listen to. Hello, somebody? So we need to change how we share the gospel, or we're going to lose all